Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope wherever you are in the world, today has been treating you well. In today's video, we've got the new Beauty Bay Botanical eyeshadow palette. I am so excited. I cannot wait to get into this palette, to swatch it, to create an eye look, and also to compare it with the limited edition Botanical palette from last year. Now, Beauty Bay say that this was one of their most popular limited edition palettes and so many people were asking for it to come back, and I'm like, is that true? Because this I feel and did feel last year so uninspired by this colour story. Do not claim to be botanical and give us two greens. Like two matte greens. Like, I just feel like this palette missed the mark. So many reviews that I saw last year when this launched, people were saying that it missed the mark. It wasn't just me that thought it. Now granted, a lot of people will have liked it. A lot of people will have enjoyed this colour story. If you love this colour story, I love that for you. But I just felt like this missed the mark. What I wanted from Botanical all along was so many greens. So many greens. So many green options. Also, some beautiful warm orangey options, and I also really like the addition of a few purples. Now granted, I'm not going to really use too many of these like grey cool tones down in this bottom corner, but the rest of it I am very excited about. So we're gonna get into doing some swatches. I'm gonna swatch every single shade and then we're gonna come up with some sort of eyeshadow look. Obviously we're going to be going green, but I don't know which other shades we're going to use. But let's get into some swatches first. Okay, so first up we have got Hemp, which is a matte. Then we have got Herb, which is another matte. Then the first shimmer in the palette, this is called Algae, and that's a beautiful like metallic finish, that's very smooth. Then we have got Peppermint, which I'm excited about these bright greens, and that one is a matte. Next up is Amazon, and this is another shimmer, but this one's slightly more reflective, a little bit more foiled. Then we have got Evergreen, which again is quite bright but a little bit deeper. Then lastly on the top row is Ash, and that's a grey toned matte. Then onto the second row we have got Vine, which is a deep shimmery foiled green. Then we have got Matcha, which is one of my favourites from the original palette. It's a pastel green, such a beautiful inner corner shade. Then we have got Holly, which as you would expect is a holly green. Then we have got the shade Quartz, which is almost like a grey blue, sort of metallic-y blue shimmer. Quite interesting for with the greens. Then we have got Spruce, which is another deep dark matte. This one's slightly more blue toned, whereas Holly is more like of a true green. Spruce is definitely more of like a teal, which I love. Then we have got Fossil, which is a light grey matte, slightly green toned, but definitely more on the grey side of green, I would say. Then we have got Surf. Ooh, I like that shade. That is like ever so slightly teal, but also like green. That's a really beautiful shade. Then onto the third row. This is the darkest green matte in the palette. That one is called Ivy. Then the darkest green shimmer. This one is Rainforest. And that is so intensely deep. That's incredible. Then next up we have got Pistachio, which is a shade that I really felt was missing from the original Botanical palette. A bright, light green shimmer That one is incredible. I'm gonna have to use that one today, obviously. That is beautiful. Then we are on to some of the warmer orangey tones that bring me a lot of joy. So this one is Sea Moss. Then we have got Kelp, which is a beautiful, beautiful bronze shimmer. That on Blue Eyes is going to be incredible. Then we have got another matte, which is called Nest. Beautiful, deep brown. Really pretty. That's chocolatey. That's really nice. Then lastly, on the third row, we have got Myrtle, which this is a shade that is in the original, but one that's very useful, a sort of mid-toned matte green. Really, really pretty shade. Then we have got this shade here, which is the first one on the fourth row. This is Samphire, and look how bright that is. Oh, yes. That shade brings me a lot of joy. I love that bright green, and having that in a matte as well is beautiful. I will say I do have a little bit of moisturiser on my skin. That's maybe why some of these are going a little patchy, but if not, it just won't stick. I am so dry. Next up we have the shade Valley, which is a deep green shimmer. Then we have got Oak, which is a dark brown, more of a mid-tone actually, mid-toned brown matte. Next up is the shade Canyon, and this was in the original limited edition palette. This is almost peachy and duochromy, where I feel like when that catches the light, it goes a really bright gold. It's almost like somewhere in between a peach, and then when it catches the light, it's like a rose gold. It's so, so beautiful. And one of the shades that I absolutely loved from the original palette, even though it's not green, but this sort of undertone, these shades go beautifully with the greens. So next up we have got a matte, and this one is called Tundra, and that one, with all of these other like warmy tones, that's like a bronzer shade that I would just put through the crease, and then a shimmer. Easy peasy lemon sauce squeezy. Then the last two on the fourth row, we have got another shimmer. This one is called Artichoke. Then we have got another matte, and this one is called Marsh. So now we are on to the bottom corner with the grey cool tones that I don't think are necessarily going to be my exact vibe, but this shimmer is beautiful. This is Lightning. Then we have got Pebble, which is the lightest, fairest grey. Not going to show up a ton on my skin because it is very close to my skin tone in like depth, but very useful for blending something out if you like these grey tones. Then we have got Savannah, and this is almost like a ballet slipper sort of pinky nude shade. Again, very, very reflective, very, very shimmery. Then we have got Clay, which is a beautiful like deep dusky rose clay sort of shade. I mean, it's in the name. Very, very pretty shade if you like these sort of pinky warm tones. Then we have got the shade Fall, which is more of like an antique gold, sort of slightly deeper, slightly more brown gold. Then we have got Eggplant, which is the deepest, darkest, richest purple. This is one that was in the original palette, and I actually loved using this as like a smoky wing with some of the other like shimmery shades across the lid. That one just worked beautifully. Then the last shade on the fifth row, this is Dune, which again is a beautiful sort of transition-y tone for my skin tone, which is that's a matte shade. Then we have got Moth, which is the darkest brown in this palette, again a matte. Next up we have got the shade Lily, which is exactly the same colour as my skin tone, so you're not going to be able to see it, but I promise It's there. It's a matte. This is one that was in the original, and actually one that I used quite a lot for like lightening up some of the other shades. I found this one really, really useful. Then next we have got Waterfall, and this is a duochrome shimmer that is one that was in the original palette and probably my most used shade. Look at that. It's like a lilac-y, powdery blue, and then when it catches the light, it's like the brightest gold. It's so, so pretty, and one that I am very, very glad that they have put into this palette because it's beautiful. I've just realised that I missed one out there before Lily. I'm getting to the end of the palette now and I'm getting tired. So before Lily, that very, very light nude shade, there was Ripple. So I'll put that here. It's slightly in the wrong order. Do forgive me. So this is the shade Ripple, a dark grey shimmer. Then we have got Mushroom, which is exactly as you would expect it to be. It's a grey, brown, matte, mushroomy shade. But again, if you like these cool tones, this is the sort of shade that I could use, my sort of skin tone could use as a crease transition sort of thing. And then the last two shades in the palette, we have got Fog, which is a deep grey shimmer, but I almost feel like that's got a bit of a purpley undertone to it. And then we have got Bramble, which is almost like a burgundy, reddy toned purple matte. And my first little Cocker Spaniel doggy growing up was called Bramble, so I've got a little soft spot for that shade. So this is what the full palette looks like. For a palette that's called Botanical, I feel like this hits the mark a lot more than the original. So I'm going to zoom you in and we are going to create some sort of look with this palette. There's so many options. I don't know what I want to do with it, but something green. Who is surprised? So one last look at these swatches now that I have zoomed you in. I am really, really impressed. Really impressed with this colour story, especially like the shimmers here. These look beautiful. I am really impressed with this colour story. I feel like for a little while now, Beauty Bay have been missing the mark a little bit with their limited edition palettes. But this apparently isn't limited edition. This is meant to be here to stay now. Hopefully, let's all keep our fingers crossed because I am really impressed with this colour story, okay? As someone who loves colour, I am really impressed. So I have got some clean brushes. I know this literally never happens, okay? This literally never happens. But I'm going to start by just putting some tape on the outer corner of my eyes, I think. Just so I don't go too crazy. There we go. I think that that is equal. It's always a little bit of a risk. I just use regular sellotape. I know that you can get like proper cosmetic tape, but honestly this works for me and it's multifunctional. I can use it to wrap birthday presents and such. So we've got the tape on and I'm sort of happy with that. I'm going to start with quite a small brush, something like this, and I think I'm going to start with the deepest shades and then like work my way across, which isn't normally what I do, but I'm just feeling quite inspired by quite a lot of the deeper shades. I have got the Beauty Bay eye primer on, which I think they've discontinued. I don't think that they do it anymore, so I mean I want them to because it's one of my favourites, but I can't seem to find it anywhere on the website anymore. Sad. But let's start with I want to use pistachio, so I want to do something that's more in like the bright greens. So let's start with Samphire, this shade, because I think that that green is incredible. So picking up quite a bit of that on that brush, and I'm gonna stamp this on the outer corner and sort of take it over onto this tape that I've laid down. Look at that colour. I love that. So I've tapped that out a little bit, but I'm not worrying too much about blending at this stage because I'm thinking I'm going to go in with some more of those like browny nudie tones to blend. But I will use the same brush and I will go in with a little bit of Holly, which was this shade here, just right on the tip of that brush, just to deepen up right on the lid. So this is sort of a similar tone, but just a little bit deeper to get something a little bit dramatic, you know? Of course, that's what I want. So I'm going to take a slightly bigger, but still quite fluffy brush, and I think I'm going to go in with that Tundra shade because I think that that will help sort of blend out this top edge a little bit. So I'm going to sort of run this through sort of above my crease so that I've still got a lot of room on the lid, but I'm going to use this shade to help blend in that green to my skin tone just a little bit, just a little light tickle. And then I will go back in with that Samphire shade on that first brush just to build that green up a little bit more on the outer corner. I honestly think that this Samphire shade is one of my favourite shades of all time. That is so bright and intense, but also I feel like that's just blending so beautifully and also laying down like a lot of pigment. I love it. I love it. I love Beauty Bay's formula. It's so user-friendly, honestly. I don't like having to spend a lot of time like building up a lot of colour. I just want it to work straight away, but also I want it to be blendable. I'm not picky, honestly. I'm not. I'm not fussy. I just want eyeshadows to work, and like these are just blending so beautifully. And the colour story is what I always wanted. Oh, I love it. I love it. I had no doubts, but I love it. So I'm just going to take more of a like pencil brush, quite a dense brush, and I'm going into that pistachio shade, that shimmer, that bright, it's almost like a lime green. I mean, it's a pistachio green. It's the colour of my dress. I love it. And I'm taking that on that pencil brush and I'm just going to press this onto the lid. I might use my finger, you know, to get that a lot more intense. So that's how that's looking with a brush, which is beautiful, but like when you see this pressed on with my finger, it almost turns it into a foil. I love it. I love it. I love green. I know that green isn't for everybody, but I love green eyeshadow. This is actually the first time in a really long time that I haven't had green nails, because the last time I got my nails done I didn't even know that this was going to be a Beauty Bay palette, or I would have had coordinating nails. I always have green nails. My nail girl laughs at me for always having green. Like every time I go, she's like, what do you want? Earth? I'm like, yes. Is it Christmas? Is it summer? Yeah, I want green nails at all times. So I'm just taking a little bit more of that Samphire shade and using that to tap over on the lid where that shimmer meets that shade on the outer corner. And I'm also just going to sort of bring this through the crease a little bit, and honestly I don't think I want to fiddle with this too much. I think I'm quite happy with how this is looking. I'm obviously going to be doing, I might do like a 4 looks with, or maybe 3. Let's not go overboard. I might do a 3 looks with. I'm obviously going to be doing an eyeshadow palette bingo with this because the possibilities. I am very excited about using this for bingo, but so far I am really, really impressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this tape off. So pretty. I feel like I didn't make that one quite long enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then we can do something under the eyes. I'm also thinking I need that matcha shade right on the inner corner. I really, really like how that looks though, that sharp line. I love. So let me go ahead and do the rest of my face and I will be right back. Okay, so just finishing off the lip with some more Beauty Bay products. Oh, I love this lip. So this is actually a Beauty Bay lip liner in Chai, and then the lip tint in Slippers. She's a classic. I love her. So just everything else that I'm wearing super quickly. The foundation is the e.l.f. Soft Glam. The concealer is the new collection one. The liquid liner is Control Freak from MUA. The mascara is also MUA. It's the Amplify Statement Lash. The bronzer and blush is the new Made by Mitchell Pressed, which actually I'll have a review up for in a couple of days. I've already filmed it. You'll be seeing this first. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the struggle that getting my hands on this palette has been. And it's now like the middle of the night. Did you see like the sun coming across as I was filming then? But this is where we are at. I want something real nice and smoky under the eyes. So I am going to just take the same dark green, I think. Let's have a look. Let's open her up. Let's see. So I used Holly, didn't I? Let's go in with a bit of Holly on the under eye as well. I really like a smoky under eye. A very intense smoky lower lash line. So just using the same brush but just right on the tip and smudging that out. I do also want to soften this line down a little bit, although I like that really sharp line. I just want to soften it a little. Like that. So you see how that's still really nice and sharp? This is still sharp, but it's just a little bit softer. I prefer like the outer corner of this, just a little bit smokier. A little bit more glam. It's like, I don't even know what time it is. It's dark outside and it's a Monday evening. And I have absolutely nothing to do this evening. I wish I even had to like go to the shop for something, you know? Like Morrison's needs to see this makeup. I have no reason to leave the house, which is a terrible shame. So that is just the Holly shade all the way under the eye. And then I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of Tundra, that same shade that I've got here through the crease. And I'm going to use that just to buff out the edges of that green on the lower lash line. I've just noticed I've got mascara all over me in a corner there. I'll get that in a minute. There we go. So that's really nice and blended out. Very dark, very smoky, very glam. I love how that's looking, but I want something really bright and intense right on that inner corner. So I'm taking a small brush and I'm going to go into that matcha shade, this one here that was the matte, and I'm going to pack that right onto the inner corner. I love a matte inner corner. I mean, I love a shimmery inner corner as well, but something about a matte, bright, pastel, green inner corner that just does it for me. There we go. I am really happy with how that's looking. So I'm just going to put a little bit more mascara on the lower lashes and then we are done. There we go. So the last little finishing touches and I am done. I would love to know what you think. I love this colour story, okay? I love the way that this has turned out. I feel like the green eyes with the orange hair. I am here for it. I love how this looks. I am so happy with this palette. I am so happy with this colour story. I am thrilled with how this look has turned out. I would love to hear what you think. Are you going to pick up this palette? Have you already got it? What do you think? If you had the limited edition Botanical palette from last year, are you interested in this palette as well? Because honestly, I feel like, yes, they've got some shades the same. Some of them are different though. As I was swatching them, I was like, Quartz is a purple in the original limited edition, and in this one, it's a grey blue. Like, there are a few shades that are different, and I feel like this new 42 pan is what I wanted from Botanical all along. I love this. I am so excited to create some more looks with it. So if you want to see more looks with this, subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more on this. I love this palette. I would love to know what you think of it. I would love to know if you're deciding to pick up the 16 pan as well, because I feel like even the 16 pan Botanical palette, the new one that they've just brought out, I feel like even that is elevated from the 20 pan limited edition that they brought out last year. I want to know all your thoughts. What are you feeling about all of these shades? I would love to know what you think. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Everything that I am wearing will be linked down below. They will be affiliate links. Thank you so much if you do decide to use them. Please don't feel obliged, you don't have to use them, but they are there should you want them. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.